that, Frame Raider.
It's raining outside, but unfortunately I don't have another opportunity in which to record this, so you're gonna have to settle with the occasional pitter-patter. Danny Starzinski has had one hell of a time putting together what is destined to be the most ambitious Serious Sam mod of all time. And when it comes to mods that are free, but, you know, aren't exactly on the scale of Black Mesa, this is probably the one just below Brutal Doom in which person made the most amount of effort. I couldn't believe it myself when I first saw it, but this is not Doom gameplay. But it might as well be, because the distinguishment between them is a very thin line. Besides all the flashy lights and sewn-together interpretations of Doom Eternal content, you could convince me that someone ported Serious Sam maps to Doom 2016. Instead, it's like Danny ported everything over to Serious Sam. Having been in communication with him for a long time during his process, I know for a fact that this has not been an easy accomplishment. The Serious Sam Fusion Workshop is nothing short of astounding, though this is entirely at the hands of this dedicated community that, believe it or not, still exists for Serious Sam. You've got the first episode of Duke Nukem 3D fully remastered, basically one-for-one ports of the weapon roster from popular shooters like Overwatch, Team Fortress 2, Black Mesa, the list goes on. And now you've got another thing to add to this highly ambitious community, Serious Doom. At least its demo. Hopefully you'll get to play it before Bethesda inevitably shit-cans it. I mean, who could blame them? But I certainly hope that doesn't have to happen and they'll give him a pass this one time around, because could you really imagine ruining all the hard work this guy's put into it? All 700 hours, give or take? So enough gawking. What exactly is Serious Doom? Well, as you know already, this brings the 2016 experience into Serious Sam the First Encounter with a little added spice of variety. You start off the game listening to the final cutscene of Doom 2016 when suddenly you're teleported into Egypt. So basically consider this an alternate universe where the Slayer is teleported to a completely different game. If the concept stopped there, then, well, I probably wouldn't be telling you about it. Seconds into the experience, however, you know you're in for a treat. Instantly you'll recognize how the game is molded in a way that makes it feel almost nothing like Serious Sam anymore. Pretty much everything has been reworked to play like 2016. You've got a double jump, a big ol' arsenal of weaponry, and just a whole bunch of demons to slaughter. It really embraces the arena-style combat that 2016 in particular was known for, throwing dozens of enemies in a smaller area which will then unlock after you've eliminated the demonic threat. Or so hypothetically, since there's not really any computers here in ancient Egypt to let you know of such a thing. No, just like in Serious Sam, you finish a battle, a door opens. You progress, you kill some more. But in typical Doom vein, there are many secrets to uncover, some of which will more easily be located to those with a keen memory of the original Serious Sam game. Not long into the first mission, you pick up the almighty chainsaw ready to slice and dice in a second. Quite literally, because the chainsaw animations from 2016 are a no-go. Instead, a quick swipe will automatically shred the demon in half, spewing out health and armor. Oh, and guts, of course. Lots and lots of guts. Regarding animations, there are also no glory kills to make use of here. This is made up for with the constant disposal from your enemies, giving you all the health and armor you'll need. Well, maybe not, since I have to admit, it's pretty damn insane. An on-screen pop-up will initiate telling you what you just picked up does, though the key bindings that it shows are not actually bound. You'll have to set those yourself in the options. It's recommended that you apply these buttons to the same input the pop-up tells you, since it really is the best choice. Danny's put a lot of work into many of the pop-up elements that seem to be vital to your success, like for example when trying to hook onto an enemy with the Super Shotgun's meat hook. Oh yeah, that bloody thing? It's in here, and it's beautiful. Not much further on into the same level, there's another pickup, this time being grenades. Not a very descriptive title for such a destructive addition to your arsenal, I must admit. This introduces what is known as the shoulder gun. The default layout for grenades is E. In Serious Sam games, the use key is generally bound to the right mouse click. It works fine enough, I suppose. Usually I rebind it to E, but I was able to get used to it. Then you get the Flamethrower edition, which I believe is used specifically in this mod to nab ammunition from your enemies. Of course, as well does it do burn damage. Then there's the Ice Bomb that freezes enemies within a certain radius. I'm pretty sure this is just for making an easier standstill target of the baddies surrounding you. In terms of level design, it's pretty much the same as the first encounter, although some minor changes were made to introduce you to certain new game elements like pole jumping, quick dashing, and the extra lives system. One of said extra lives I'll have to be convinced isn't impossible to grab. Tried this so many times and not once did I find a viable way to get that thing and live. Other changes to the maps include level aesthetics like the water and moon mountains being turned green, there are new skyboxes, ambient lighting, and much more further cementing this as its own experience and not a Serious Sam mod. There is so much in fact that separates this from your average mod that I'd never be able to explain it in full detail before Doom Eternal comes out, as was my intention with this video, anyhow. Although I do feel this mod is worthy of a more in-depth look, no doubt, so consider this to be a bit of a sneak peek of things to come. I'll be looking more into the game's mechanics, attention to detail, and more once the full version of this mod is released. To finish this off, let me sum up how this experience went for me. It's a brand new Doom experience that's free of charge, full of content, and very replayable. Each battle feels unique due to the absurd number of enemies hurtling towards you, along with your impressive navigation skills. Going into this, do not expect Serious Sam. This is an off-the-wall, totally insane mayhem simulator that requires you to constantly consider its mechanics in order to survive. Though that said, while stunningly similar, this is also not Doom 2016. Glory kills were a very prominent feature in that game, alas you will find none of that here. Anything but total unfiltered attention to the game means death, so get ready to hang on by the edge of your seat because, as Danny himself puts it, this is the nice soup before the main course. Oh, but expect the game to crash every 15 or so minutes. Yeah, the Serious engine in this state isn't the most stable. According to Danny, he says he has nothing to say about crashes, just looks at the reports you give him, smile and realize it's the Serious engine, then continue working. Croteam doesn't care to do anything about it until they release Serious Sam 4, so whatever, just keep a quick save handy.